Yo, what's up? What's up? Let me tweet this out. I don't even know how to really tweet this out, though. Guess I could just say I'm live. First episode, so this should be pretty fun. And link that. There we go. All right, I'm gonna let some people get in here before I pop it off. But hope anybody that is in here is doing great. Chilling. Yo, what's up? All right, once we hit the I want to hit that probably like 6 minute mark. we'll start discussing some things. Make sure that mic sounds good. Mic check, mic check. All right. So, first and foremost, I will be starting to do a weekly podcast. Um, weekly podcast at least once a week, at least. I don't know if I'll increase the number or whatever, but your boy just has a lot to talk about. So, with that being said, I do want to do like weekly podcast and such to cover topics, just general topics, whether it be like stuff that's going around on the X app or things that are just going around in the community in general, things that we can, discuss. Um, all the fun stuff to talk about, right? And there's a lot to talk about when it comes down to Street Fighter 6 and how I personally feel about the game versus like how others are feeling about the game. I have asked a good amount of people, especially on um, X, because I still call it Twitter, but everybody's different. But for the purpose, I'm gonna still call it Twitter. X just seems like crazy. But yeah. To in regards to like Street Fighter, right? I've asked a lot of people on Twitter how they feel about the game in general, and a lot of people have, they're split. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people feel like the game is reliant on quote unquote neutral skips, and some people feel the opposite. Some people feel like they're still neutral, they're still footsies or whatever the case might be. And kind of where I stand on the game, like I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think that the game is actually a pretty good game. However, I do think that there are things about the game that, with the game not being altered or changed for a year, can kind of make the game a little bland in comparison to other fighting games, right? Like when we think about games like what DNF, and DNF is another one. Like some people like it, some people didn't like it. I actually really did enjoy the game. I think DNF is a very good game. You have to look past some of the things about the game because not every game is meant to be, straightforward and just straight to the point. Like some games are actually meant to be more chaotic, right? And as long as like one character is not designed like that and everybody else is designed different, I don't think that there's a huge problem with that. But in regards to Street Fighter, it's like I know that the game will not be changed till after um basically year one is over. Like Capcom Cup happens, and then we will get balance changes and stuff. And to me, I just think that that's crazy. Not that the game necessarily needs all of that, right? It's not that the game actually needs all of this change, right? But it's that where the game lies right now, I think it's pretty much figured out at neutral and what's going to happen at neutral. Like people are going to drive rush at you. Your objective is to check the drive rush. If you do not check the drive rush, you are holding like mad plus frames and you can get opened up pretty easily. And all of these things that can happen to you just because you were not able to check it. Then there's baits if you do try to check it, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of layers to what's actually going on with drive rush, but drive rush can be hard to check, especially if somebody is running in with an early button. It can be very hard to check drive rush. So there's just a lot of factors that you have to think about when it comes down to drive rush in general, right? Lots of factors. And I think that Street Fighter in general, Street Fighter 6, I think that at the beginning it was like really, really, really fun to me. I put a lot of hours into it. Like as y'all know, I grinded the hell out of the game. I put a lot of hours into it, countless hours. And I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel like I put enough hours into the game to have a very good opinion on the game and how I feel about the game, right? Um, and I feel like my opinion is valid to feel how I feel. Like, hey, Young Jay, what's goody? What's good, brother? And I feel stream good so far, gang. Yeah, so far. First episode of the podcast, baby. We just keeping it in there. But volume is, I hope, good, and everything is good on that end. Because I didn't know how many people would show up here today. But at the end of the day, I had a lot to talk about. So no matter if somebody goes back into this video that they're listening to right now, they can just go back, listen to my thoughts on certain topics and all that good stuff. So if you couldn't make it today, like it's all good. But yeah, like I think that Street Fighter 6 is a good game. I just think that it's just in a weird boat, man, for me, because I just got bored of it really fast. And MK is gonna be like the new hotness. And I played MK a lot, so I know I'm gonna like the new one. I already know that, you know. And I just love MK. I played MK11 for at least 2 years. Had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, that I think that kind of covers my future with Street Fighter right now. Like, am I done forever? I never say never. I can always come back because the game will never be changed for a year. So if I want to come back and clap people, I can do that. And that's how I look at it. Like, if I really want to come back, I can come back 6 months from now and still be able to do the same thing, because no matter what, yes, things evolve, like the evolution of like characters and things evolve, but like none of that really matters when the game won't change, right? So when I get on, you're going to have to hold the situations I put you in regardless. And that's just how it works when a game doesn't change. Now, if the game went through like, a couple balance patches or even maybe like one or two, then we'd be in a different boat. But yeah, I'll be okay. Like like I said, if I do want to return or play both, that's an option. It's an option. Now, what I do want to talk about is there has been a lot of talk going around, right? Now, everybody was talking about JP this, JP that. Now everybody is getting on Ken's case, and now everybody's talking about Ken this, Ken that, Ken this, Ken that. JP this, JP that, but now they're combining the complaints to JP and Ken are the problems of the game, right? Now here's the biggest problem about this. Now this is the funny part. Like, y'all gotta understand something, right? Like, when you're playing these, like, people are complaining about these two, and they're playing like Guile, and they're playing like Jury, and they're playing like all of these characters that are literally at the top. They are complaining about JP and Ken. And that is absolutely, when you think about the concept of that, that is actually wild. I don't think that I've seen that in too many other fighting games where a person is literally borderline playing like top 3, top 4 in the game, and they're complaining about the number 1 or number 2 character. Like, that's actually insane. Like, when you really think about it, because think about it like this. A Guile is literally shooting sonic booms with no recovery, like absolutely no recovery. Absolutely no recovery. Like, when you shoot the boom, you have no fear of that person jumping, because if they jump, you can stand medium kick, you can flash kick, you can just do whatever you want, right? So when you shoot a projectile in any fighting game, right? I shoot a Hadouken. If you jump me, I'm hit and I know I'm comboed, so I'm afraid to shoot that Hadouken because I know the outcome. Bro be shooting sonic booms in your grill and you can't do anything about it. You can't even DI. If you try to DI, my mans will DI you back. Like, there's no risk to throwing the projectile. So once there's no risk to throwing the projectile, you can react to anything in the game. Like, everything becomes reactable at that moment, right? Because this character has a sonic boom. Jury's drive rush is still top 2 in the game. Like, that shit is top 2. I still think DJ's is better than hers, but Jury's is literally top 2 in the game. Like, there's no problem with her drive rushing at you and getting pressure. You have to try to check it. Now, people have gotten better at checking drive rush. I will say that. People have definitely gotten better at checking drive rushes, for sure. For sure. However, none of that actually matters, because when Jury does stand medium kick early, you will get cooked for trying to press a button. It's a good chance that your button will either trade or you'll get cooked. So there is a lot of factors to why some of these characters that, you know, people are complaining about or talking about, all of that, like, none of that matters when you are still playing top 5. You don't get to complain about number 1 and number 2. You are in that top echelon of characters where anything of any day can switch over, right? Any day it can just switch over. And people are, I guess, painting the picture that JP and Ken are, I guess, 1 and 2 or whatever they're trying to paint the picture. And it's like, bro, JP, it's all opinions, right? It'll always be opinions. JP is not the best character in that game at all. Like, it's not even, now, is it far-fetched to say he is? No, it's not. I definitely think that he's top 5, and he could be flip-flopped with any of those characters, because people will say, like, this character's not playing Street Fighter or whatever. They'll paint whatever picture they want to paint to say that the character is not playing Street Fighter, right? But then it's like, Ken is playing Street Fighter, quote unquote, right? Ken is playing Street Fighter, but now it's a problem. So now you're complaining about about the character that's actually playing Street Fighter. So, like, I think it's more of a disconnect in the community of what Street Fighter is. I think it's also a disconnect that when a character is not playing traditional, right? When a character is not playing traditional Street Fighter, now it's an issue. Like Street Fighter 5, Manat, right? Manat was not playing traditional Street Fighter with her orbs. Before they went to 3-bar V trigger, when they were 2, she was not playing traditional. Colleen skating at you, literally skating at you, like skating. That's Street Fighter? You know what I'm saying? When something is different, people are not comfortable. That's why people don't complain about Guile as much, because Guile has been like this to a degree, minus, of course, Drive Rush and mix-ups and stuff like that. But to a degree, Guile is still the same. You still beat Guile the same concept, which would be just walk him down, right? But that's the issue. People fail to walk Guile down and they lose to him, but they don't complain about him because they're comfortable fighting Guile. Right, but when it comes to a character like, you know, JP or something like that, it's different. Now Aki is funny because when Aki's reveal, she is doing absolutely the opposite of quote unquote Street Fighter, and people got hype. People got hype. Oh my god, I can fix her. What? So Aki is fine, right? People are okay with that design of her poisoning you, doing all this crazy stuff, sliding on the ground, laying on the ground, flip-flopping like a fish, like a magic cart. But when JP does it, it's a problem. Okay. So at that point, you know, and by design of, you know, when this top player says this about JP, when this player says this about JP, you know, eventually everything explodes, right? And different communities, because there's so many communities, different communities playing this game, different communities and different players all start saying this, that, and the third. And now we have a situation on our hands, people, because now there's a lot of cap going around about this character is this character is that. And when a established player says these things, it's going to automatically sprout to others. So if one streamer, now break this down, think about this now. If one streamer tells his thousands of viewers that JP or Ken are jury or whatever, but we're going to use JP and Ken as the example. If a streamer tells 1,000 viewers JP is broken or Ken is broken, right? That 1,000 viewers, especially if they're not that on that streamer's level, so they might be a mid-level player, a beginner, casual, whatever, right? So they hear this, they go to the next stream with this whole mentality. So when they see Ken or JP on the screen, they're like, bro, that character is busted, blah blah blah. So now, mind you, the stream that they just rated potentially has the exact same outcome of people telling, bro, Ken is broke, or this Jinraya kick is broken, or blah, 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 right? So now you have this whole community put against each other because of a character is a good character. So when the $1 million got announced, I thought that people were actually going to pick what was going to win them the $1 million. That is what I thought before the game even released. I said people are going to pick the cheap shit. People are actually going to want to win. But now people don't want to win. They want to win their way, right? So now that is the problem. So you can win your way, little buddy. But what you got to understand is if somebody is picking a better character, they are going to enhance their chances, right? So if you're picking Manon, you pick Manon because you like her. You're not picking her because of her tier. You are picking her because you like her. You like how she looks, etc., etc. You're not picking her to win the $1 million because you know you are not winning with Manon. You're not winning $1 million with that character. You're not. She's just not built to win. You would have to guess right. You would have to get lucky every single step of the way and play matchups that you are familiar with or comfortable with in general. But going a whole tournament winning with her, good luck, buddy. Not happening. Is she bad? No. Is she high tier? No. She's lower tier. But the chances of you winning and beating all of the upper echelon players with her, nah. Just nah. So that's the basis of what's going on right now that I feel. And now everybody uses that excuse. Like, damn, you play Ken, you play DJ. Like, I saw a discussion between two players, one being one of my locals and one being Complex, right? And basically they got into a scuffle of you play DJ. Well, you play Ken, you play DJ. You play Ken, you play DJ. Like, and then it just started rolling and scrambling, and like it just got a little more aggressive. And it's like, bro, like for me personally, I've been in this game for at least probably like 16 years of like just competitive fighting games. And I promise you, this is probably like the first time I've actually seen people say things like, you play this character, well, you play this character, well, you play this character, you play, like, it's literally pointing fingers, bro. Like, we are on a playground. It's like super childish, and it's crazy that people don't think bigger brain to be like, well, damn, like, I play a good character, bet. Like, okay, you play a good character, like you should want to win, right? But you want to enhance your chances. Like $1 million came up, everybody wanted to play Street Fighter for the chance, but now you don't want to pick a good character. Like something doesn't add up, and I'm trying to understand what's not adding up right there. That's my biggest point. I don't know what's not adding up between people and why people don't want to attempt to play a better character to win. That's all I'll say on that Ken versus JP topic, because I just think that, bro, like you should be happy that you're playing a good character, and all of us players that play like the top 5 or whatever, y'all should be coming together and being like, damn, like we all play good characters, bet whoever wins because it's like none of these characters are impossible to beat, right? So if none of these characters are impossible to beat, there shouldn't be an actual problem. But there is a problem. Like it's actually crazy, like when I think about it. And I think that that's what's holding a lot of players back, because it's a constant roll around of like what they think the problem is the character and not the player, right? Or they didn't make a mistake. The character did X, Y, and Z. It's like a person will literally attempt to throw JP knowing if he counters your throw, you're gonna lose 50%, right? And they will still go for the throw, get countered, and be like, bro, amnesia's broken. And it's like, why did you grab somebody that you know can hit you for 50%? So basically what you're telling me is you will go into the kitchen, the stove is on high, and you will touch it and get burnt, but get mad that you got burned. That does not make sense. That doesn't. I know Street Fighter players are not cooking. They do not cook their own meals, because if you cooked your own meals, you would know better than to go in the kitchen, turn the stove on high, and touch the stove with your hand, burn the shit out of your hand, and then say, damn, this shit is hot. What? Like, that makes no sense. Like, if you know the character has this option, why are you throwing right there? When you throw, you need to be like, bro, I don't care. Like, I'm throwing because I know I'm going to commit. And if he counters, okay, I lose 50. But if I can get this throw loop rolling, maybe he does an amnesia down the line, I shimmy, and I hit him for 50. That's the mentality that you have to have. But, like, people have, like, this weird mentality now in fighting games where nothing matters. Like they just don't care, right? They don't care about the consequences. And then once the consequence happens, they are upset that they got cooked. And now they go to Twitter to, type and complain because they just got cooked by something that they shouldn't have got cooked. So all of these things make perfect sense when you think about them in a different manner. But right now, people aren't thinking about things in a good manner, and people are just more willing to continue to complain, which is, I mean, if that's what you're about, so be it. I'm not about that. I would rather like, once I get to a point of complaints, I would rather just stop playing the game. And I'm in complete agreement in nerfing Amnesia. Like, don't get it twisted. And I wasn't one of the first people to say it, but eventually after month 1, I was literally on Twitter. I made a post. I posted under, I think Broski posted, where he was talking about Amnesia's fine, whatever. I literally said, I stated that Amnesia needs to go. I believe Throws should beat Amnesia. If Throws beat Amnesia, it would be so easy to easier to beat a like mid-level to lower level JP easily, because you wouldn't have to bait them. You would just throw them, throw loop, and then you would win the game. Higher level players would still be good, but it would definitely nerf like mid-level players, because there's no reason that a reversal off the ground should be netting you 50% for sure. Like, I definitely in agreement that they should touch it, but guess what? They're not touching the game until a year passes. So like, at this point, now people need to just suck it up, stop complaining, and just play the game, because nothing's about to change. They're not going to change. And now it's not even about that. And now it's funny, because now it's not even about that. The thing that it's about now, right, is MR. Like, that's the hottest topic. So everything literally changes every single day with people. One moment is Ken, one moment is JP, one moment is Ken, one moment is JP. Now it's MR. Everybody's talking about MR. So my biggest question is, why is 2000 MR the staple? Like, why is that the quote unquote top player MR? This is the MR that players need to get. This is like, if you have this MR, you're this type of player. If you have this MR, you're that type of player, blah, blah, blah. So like, why is that a thing? Like, why is 2000 MR? That's like what I don't understand, of why people are like putting so much emphasis on 2000 MR. And if you don't have 2000 MR, and if you don't have 2000 MR, then it's like whatever, right? That's the problem that I have also, talking about the whole MR system. Is like, I think it's good, but I think it's a bit toxic, because with the MR system, the reason why I feel like it's a bit toxic is because players put a lot of weight on the whole MR. Like, if you got this MR, you're this player. If you got this MR, you're that player. Oh, you're not that good because you have this MR. Like, it's a lot of like discussion on how much MR a person has, and all of these things that's kind of like crazy when you think about it, like, logically. Because everybody is not gonna hit 2000 MR. Like, no, like, literally, if I was still like grinding a game every day, I could easily hit 2000 MR, just because I'm playing the game and like I know the system of the game. And I was almost like already there. I just literally just stopped playing the game because I just got bored of it. But for me personally, anybody that is a higher level of player can definitely get 2000. But I'm not understanding why 2000 is the staple. I guess maybe because you start at 15. Once you rank up, you start at 15, right? So maybe that's why. But like, 2000 is that top 1%, because not like, some people will never see that. Some people will never see 2000, like, ever. And that's the thing. Like when people start putting things in perspective, because I think technically speaking, if you have like 15, I feel like if you're stuck at 15, like in the 15 range, I think that you're a solid player, right? Once you go like 16, 17, like you're definitely leveling up, you're climbing. Once you get to the 18 mark, you're like a pretty high level player where you can, if you can keep going, you could tell like your skill level, because I do think it does have weight. Yeah, somebody like around 18 could probably like get a top 32 for sure. Like 17 and 18, you could definitely make top 32. Once you start getting into the 19s, 2000s, you could definitely get top 8s. Um, I think that it was Big Bird that said like rank doesn't matter and stuff. And like while that does, like, so the thing about that, right? The whole rank doesn't matter and blah blah blah. So rank in reality does not matter. However, consistency does, right? Consistency is like super important in fighting games. And I feel like when it comes down to it, if you think about it, what he's saying is like rank doesn't matter, and people put way too much weight on the like the MR system and stuff like that. Like people put way too much weight on that, which is true. But if somebody is in the 19s and 2000s, bro, they win a lot and they're pretty damn consistent. And you have to like take that into account. Like you can't like X that out. Like you can't just be like, okay, well, rank doesn't matter, and that person is still has 2000. It's just not good at the game now. If you have 2000 MR, you're pretty damn good at the game. You understand the game a lot. Does that mean you're gonna win every tournament? No, but you understand the game for sure because of the consistency it takes to get there. But I think like in all reality, with how the MR system is, some players, what's good, Dante? I think some players will, no matter what, will always cap at a certain number, right? They'll always cap at a certain number, no matter what, right? In the MR system. The MR system should be how consistent are you? That should be the focus of the MR system. It shouldn't be anything else. It should literally be how consistent are you? If you are stuck in the 15s or 14s, you are not consistent. That does not mean you are not good. Let's break it down one time. That does not mean you are not good at the game. That just means you are not consistent at the game. If you're like in the 17, 18 range, you have consistent days, but you probably have some off days. You probably have some days where like you lose your rank, but then you can climb back up. Like you have hot streaks basically, right? You have hot streaks. So if you shooting good, you shooting threes real good today, but the next game you done shot a couple bricks, shot a couple air balls, and you just not like, you're not as wet as you was on Monday. You feel me? Like it's just not splashing. But on Wednesday, you hitting all your threes. So now that you're hitting all your threes, you can see that you could potentially be consistent from the 3-point line, but you're not. Not right now. Now you go that whole week and you just like lobbing them up and they all wet. Oh, okay, bet. Then you good. And when you think about that in Street Fighter terms, if you can turn on Street Fighter and you played 20 matches and you won 17 of them and only lost 3, you ate that day. But tomorrow, if you turn on Street Fighter and you play 20 matches and you only won 6 of them out of 14, so you lost 14, but you won 6? Nah. You're just not consistent yet, which is fine. But that is what you should focus on in rank. Like if somebody's really playing ranked, They need to be focused on consistency. So it's okay to take rank serious, but have a focus in rank. Don't just be playing rank to be like, oh, okay, I'm trying to be the best player, on the rank leaderboard. Like, don't think like that. Just think about certain things. You got to think about like the little things, right? But I don't think Big Bird was wrong in saying what he said, but I think his approach was a little off because I think that this rank is probably the best rank Street Fighter has seen in general. I definitely think the Street Fighter rank this time around was pretty solid. This time around with the MR system. Before the MR system, it was trash because anybody can hit master rank. A lot of players can hit master rank. I won't say anybody, but a lot of players hit master rank, but their MR is low. But it makes sense because they're not consistent. You could hit master rank and still not be consistent. That's the thing. You can hit master rank and your consistency sucks. But your MR won't lie. It's going to tell you how consistent you are, for sure. Or if you go on a lot of hot streaks. So yesterday, literally, because I didn't get to talk to all my peeps yesterday, but so yesterday, I cleaned out my closet. Literally took me 5 hours. Cleaned out the closet, 5 hours in the making. And I had a lot of old PS2 titles, PS3. I'm talking like stuff like Resistance Fall of Man. I'm talking like Xenosaga on the PS2. Tao Thing. Some of y'all remember Tao Thing. I'm talking like old games, right? Like games like I found my like Pokemon Blue, like games like that, right? So I find all these games and I'm like, I had to use big brain moment, right? So I'm like, okay, like I found all these games, but I just bought a PS5 and I want new games. Why don't I just go trade some of these games in that I'm never gonna play again and actually get some PS5 titles? So of course, that was a big brain move. I went to the pawn shop. They literally told me that they do not take old games. They only take from what she told me 2022. I'm gonna tell you exactly what she told me now. 2022, 2023, and 2024 edition. What? We're not even in 2024. What are you talking about? So at that point, I was like, what? All right. So I was like, all right, bet. So, of course, down the street was a GameStop. Now, GameStop is notorious for robbing you of the price that you would actually get from somewhere better. I went in anyway. I had a lot of games. I mean, I had like literally 5 bags. I had like Walmart bags. I went in there with Walmart bags and I had games inside the Walmart bags. I walk in with the Walmart bags and like, I was like, can I trade these in? And they're looking at me. Dude said no. Dude was like, no, we don't take old games. I was like, GameStop don't take old games? All right. The dude next to him that worked there said, no, just bring your bags in. I'm going to see what scans in the system. So I'm like, okay, bet. Okay. So I'm like, bro, I got a lot of bags though. He said, we're not busy, so we good. Now they weren't busy. So I bring in 5 bags full of games, bro. 5. I probably had over 60 or 70 games. I bring in bags. I just put bags on a counter. So he started going through, he was scanning, he was getting hyped because he saw some of my classics like Bloody Roar, some of the older like Street Fighter stuff, Mortal Kombat on Xbox 360, Blue Dragon, like just crazy games, right? So after he scanned everything, now some of my games did not register in their system, so I'm gonna just have to take them to like Game Exchange or do something around that nature. But needless to say, I got like $90 store credit, so I was able to get Ratchet and Clank, and Ghost of Tsushima. Both I got them both used, but at this point it didn't matter because they're practically brand new. Somebody probably just beat them and took them back. But Ghost of Tsushima and Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 5, because y'all know I just bought the PS5 for Mortal Kombat coming out on Thursday at noon, and I will be streaming Mortal Kombat on YouTube, just so y'all know. And then so I had like $3 credit left over, so I bought this tumbler cup, this Pokemon tumbler. I was like, might as well. I got $3 left on credit. Like, I'm not gonna use that anytime soon. So like, let me go ahead and get that. So yesterday's trip was definitely a success, especially after like cleaning my closet for like 5 hours. And then I forgot that I had so many games, and I was like, yeah, let me go trade some of these in. So yeah, they probably, like I said, they probably got me on some of those titles, but some of those titles that I wouldn't get any value for anymore, I still got some value. So it's funny, they didn't even take Kingdom Hearts 2 back. So I know if I take that, I could probably sell that to a person and they would actually pay me a lot, because it's like GameStop won't take Kingdom Hearts 2 back. And that's like actually kind of insane. Especially based on some of the games that they took back from me that are like old as hell, but they didn't take that. They wouldn't even take NBA Street, which is crazy. Oh no. Oh no. They didn't take NBA Street, but that's crazy. Lately, no cap, and I think I'm on both sides, but from what I'm seeing, right, we all know that CEO Taku is coming up, right? CEO Taku is coming up, and the crazy thing about CEO Taku coming up is the games added were Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I don't know if they added them late or when they added them, but basically CEO Taku is notably known for anime fighting games, blah blah blah, right? So with Street Fighter and MK there, you already know those games are going to take over because they're super popular or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people are upset, which I do get to a degree, because apparently Street Fighter 6 and MK1 took some of the stream time from what I saw. I can't confirm that 100%, but I do know that they are at that event, and people are not pleased that they're at that event, kind of taking over the event when it's supposed to be more of an anime focused event. Which, like I said, I get, but then also you have to look at it from a perspective of TO's putting that game there. I mean, they're a popular game, so why wouldn't you put that game there, right? Why wouldn't you put both games there? But then if it's like overshadowing the actual games, it's like Frosty Faustings is like a Guilty Gear thing, right? What's up, Speed? Frosty Faustings is a Guilty Gear major. Like, Guilty Gear is going to be the main event of the major, and you already know that Elvin Shadow is a Guilty Gear player, so he's going to make sure Guilty Gear gets his shine. That would be like the equivalent to going to a Frosty Faustings and the main event is Street Fighter 6. Or the main event is Mortal Kombat 1 at a Frosty Faustings, and you know that is a Guilty Gear dominated tournament. Like, it's supposed to be like all about Guilty Gear. That would be crazy. So I get where they're coming from, but I also think that it's a little extreme of their approach on that topic, because I think more people are mad that it's just getting overshadowed. And I would feel that way if I was like playing a game and I was going to like a multi major. Like, let's say Multi Blood had some type of major and I was going to play Melty, or like Soul Calibur had a major, and I was going to play Soul Calibur. And Soul Calibur was supposed to be the main event, right? I'm super hype. I made top 8. I'm like, yes, sir. Then at the end, they say, oh, wait. Nah, Street Fighter's the main event. My bad. My bad. 1,000 entrants. I'm going to be like, hello? Nah, bro. Nah. Like, at that point, I would be tight because I'd be like, bro, this is a Soul Calibur event. Why am I getting overshadowed by Street Fighter? And this event is for Soul Calibur. So I'm going to feel a certain type of way. Point blank. So you definitely have to think about it in that terms. I get where the frustration is coming from. Because a lot of people are attacking and they don't even really know what's going on. It's like, bro, I mean, I get where the frustration is coming from. Now, should you be mad that Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are at the event? No. But I just would make sure that the anime game still had priority versus like just being like, oh, Street Fighter had the most entrants. Oh, well, I'm gonna just put Street Fighter main event. Nah. You still need to make sure that anime games still have the priority so that that event still has that prestigious feeling of going for playing, Guilty Gear, or going for playing Melty Blood, or a Uni, or whatever you're going to play. It needs to still have that same feeling. And if it loses that feeling to where it feels like we just go to this tournament to play like any game, if it loses that feeling, then the event is off at that point. Like you're basically losing out on what you signed up for. Because imagine a 3D event, right? And you got Tekken, Soul Calibur, Virtual Fighter. And you show up and you're like, yes, sir, I'm about to play this VF, baby. And you're like, VF about to be on the main stage. I'm about to be lit. Then all of a sudden they're like, nah, we added Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat here too. You're going to be like, all right, bet. That's fine. But then they're like, nah, hold up. Virtual Fighter not on the main stage no more. It's on the left side. The left side of what? Nah, it's on the left side of the stage now. It's on the side stream. What? Yeah, Street Fighter Mortal Kombat is too popular, man. And actually, as a matter of fact, Soul Calibur is now on the back stream. Okay, so I'm at this event. Why? I thought this was a 3D event. Now it is 3D. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat is 3D models. We didn't say it had to be actually 2D, 3D. It's 3D, 2D. So that still counts as 3D. That's why we added Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. But they calling your name in the back. I'm going to be like, what the? All right, bro. I'm about to get a plane ticket back that day. I don't even want to play in top 8 no more. I'm good. Because I came to this event to show out, and y'all done put me on the side stream that's actually not even being streamed. Little buddy just got the whole setup over there like it's actually being streamed, but it's actually not. It's like when you give your cousin the controller so he can play, but the controller not even plugged in, but he think he playing. Like, come on, bro. That's crazy. So I get it, but people gotta approach, like, in the real world, you don't just approach. Do you go up to your boss and just start demanding stuff and talking crazy to your boss? No, you don't. Now, I'm not saying these TOs are your bosses, but what I'm saying is it's all about respect, and it's the chain. You done already paid your money to get here. So of course you're entitled to your opinion and to voice your opinion on certain topics. Like if I spend my money somewhere, like if I spend my money and I go buy some food I want my food to be top notch and I want my food to be good. If my food is nasty, I'm about to pull up, right? I'm gonna pull up because at this point, I want my food to be good. I paid for it. So if you're paying the venue and you're paying all this stuff, then at that point, your experience needs to be good, right? So everybody is entitled to have that opinion. But the problem with that is people don't know how to approach you and pull you to the side. Like me and the homie Super Elite, we went to NorCal regionals, right? That was NorCal, right? Elite. We went to NorCal regional. Or was that SoCal? I think it was NorCal. Anyway, it's been a minute. But we went there. We went there to play Soul Calibur, right? Perfect example. We went there to play Soul Calibur. We get to the casuals, right? There's no Soul Calibur casuals. So I done paid my money. I did what I had to do. I paid my money. I did all this. I paid my money. There's no Soul Calibur casuals. So I paid my money, but there's no casuals for me to play Soul Calibur. So at this point, you know, me and the homie pull up and we just like, yo, like, where the casuals at? Oh, we'll go grab the disc and we'll put one in the one of these PlayStations. We good, y'all good. Okay, bet. So we just waiting, looking stupid at this point. We just waiting, and there's nothing. We actually, I think we found a setup that had it. The one setup, right? The one random setup. But us even having to go through that when we already paid our money, and like, why is there not a casual station for Soul Calibur? And it was a main game. That shit is crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. So, same thing with Evo. Like, you pay all that money, but on day 3, they shut down casuals? What? They shut down casuals and the room. Bro, I done paid my money. Open that shit up. You gonna have to open that up. Yeah, like, same thing. It's like if you go and you got a waitress and she come over and she like, what y'all want? I want a sweet tea. All right, what you want? I want a lemonade. Bet. I'll be back. Bet. Damn, 30 minutes up past. I done seen her walk past our table a couple times. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. Where my sweet tea? Oh, I'm still getting it. What? Where's my sweet tea? I'ma still bring it. Y'all just gotta be patient now. All right. Y'all want some bread? Nah, I want my sweet tea. She done passed by our table 8 more times now. Man, where's my sweet tea? Hello? At this point, I want my sweet tea. Guess what? At that point, I'm about to walk out or call the manager because I'm mad because I want my drink. And I waited patiently. So when I show up to the tournament, I done paid my money. I want a setup that's manageable to play the game that I came for. I shouldn't have to bring my own setup. Especially when everybody else out here playing casuals. You see how that works? Like, it's a process. It's a process. And it's simple. It's a simple process. But that's just my view on this situation. Like, if I'm going to a quote unquote anime event where anime games are supposed to be, you know, the big deal, and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat start to like collide with that and destroy that, then CEO Taku becomes a Street Fighter major or it becomes a Mortal Kombat major. Now, I don't even know when the event is, so I don't know if people have enough time to even prepare and be like, hey, I'm going there for Mortal Kombat, I'm going there for Street Fighter, because I'm pretty sure most people that play those games already probably play Street Fighter because of how popular it is. But I don't know. Because at the end of the day, like, Mortal Kombat, nobody even knows, like, beyond the people that play like the beta and stuff, but nobody really knows how good the game truly is beyond the people that actually have gotten to play it. So some of these people like that would be entering it, I don't even know how confident they would be to like travel for it. Because Mortal Kombat literally comes out on Thursday. So y'all already know what time it is. I had to slip that in. That Mortal Kombat comes out Thursday. Your boy will be streaming on YouTube this coming Thursday. So do not miss that. And I have gotten Friday off too. So I'm gonna be off Thursday and Friday at noon. We'll be back right here streaming Mortal Kombat and playing some Smoke. I've been doing a lot of theory thinking, and I know that I'm probably going to play Smoke Frost. I want to try out Smoke Cyrax also, but Smoke Frost for sure, because I already know that's going to be like really cheap. Like really, really cheap. But yeah, Mortal Kombat is about to drop. So please try to avoid spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers going around on Twitter. So if you have to mute the words, please. And thank you. Mute those words. Do not get spoiled. All in all, today's episode was more of a test to see how this feels, because I've never done a podcast or anything. But I like the atmosphere, I like the vibe, so I do appreciate y'all coming through. I kind of wanted to just like do a like around an hour-ish podcast to kind of see how things would turn out with the first one, and just like talk. Of course, I can build this up and slowly but surely get more people in. But the key is to really see, because in a podcast you have to talk a long hours. Oh, well, it depends, because I really want to run mine probably like max like 130. Like that's a max minimum, like 110, 120. But unless I have like guests and stuff, but I kind of wanted to just see how it felt, and it feels good. I feel like I do have a lot to talk about, especially when there are topics to kind of like write out, talk about, discuss, see how y'all feel, see how I feel about a lot of the things that are happening right now. So like I think that that's pretty hot. And this is actually my first official YouTube stream, because I've streamed some YouTube before a long time ago through like PlayStation 4 streams, because they went through YouTube. But this is my first official YouTube, so I hope the stream actually looks really good, looks really like official. The frames are really good and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna move over to YouTube. I won't say permanently, but I want to move over to YouTube for now and see how things go, to even build my YouTube further, because I think that that's the next approach that I want to go, is building that YouTube and getting that YouTube audience bigger. So with that being said, thank y'all for coming through. I'll do another episode next week. We'll have way more to cover, and of course Mortal Kombat will be out, so you will see me streaming on YouTube. I'll post it on Twitter, of course, before I'm going live, and if you're already in the Discord, of course I will post it there. But I will see y'all again very soon, hopefully next week. I'll see some of y'all, but until then, I want to say peace out, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through. Peace.